As the Princess of Wales, Catherine was required to leave behind the freedom she once enjoyed before marriage. In those days, she could walk the streets unnoticed, attend parties with friends, and take part in ordinary group activities without restriction. Today, that freedom has significantly narrowed. Her movements are carefully managed, and only a limited number of places remain accessible to her. Even these spaces are temporary. When she one day becomes queen, they too will quietly disappear from her life, as she will no longer be permitted to set foot in them again. 1. Can Catherine go out alone? Catherine can go out alone in principle, but never truly by herself. She is allowed to walk, shop, exercise, or take her children to school, and photographs have shown her doing all of these over the years. However, every movement happens within a controlled security framework. Royal protection officers are always present, even when invisible. They are armed, highly trained, and usually dressed in plain clothes to blend into the environment. Their role is to observe, maintain distance, and intervene only if a threat appears. Because of this system, spontaneity is almost impossible. Catherine cannot suddenly decide to visit a store, change a route, or linger somewhere out of curiosity. Any outing must be planned in advance, typically 2 or 3 days earlier. Security teams assess locations, crowd density, entrances, exits, and potential risks. Only after approval can the plan move forward. Even a simple walk requires coordination. This structure affects personal freedom in subtle ways. Emotional impulses must yield to logistics and safety. The public may see a relaxed, casual Catherine in sportswear, but behind that image is constant vigilance. The system exists because of real threats faced by the royal family, including past attacks and stalking incidents. Catherine's apparent independence is therefore carefully managed. She may look alone, but security is always present, silently shaping every step she takes, at all times, without exception, ever. 2. She can't just spontaneously turn left or right. Catherine cannot change direction on impulse when she goes out. Every outing follows a pre-approved route planned and checked in advance. Security teams assess roads, entrances, crowd flow, and potential risks before she leaves. Once the route is confirmed, it cannot be altered suddenly. She is not allowed to stop spontaneously, change destinations, or enter crowded places without notice. Even if she notices a beautiful bouquet or feels curious about a nearby cafe, she cannot turn in for even a moment. Sudden decisions create blind spots for security and increase risk. Any deviation would require coordination and clearance that cannot happen instantly. As a result, personal impulses are suppressed. Catherine's movements appear calm and natural, but they are tightly scripted. Her freedom is limited by security needs, not by royal status. This restriction shows how safety overrides spontaneity, leaving little space for unscripted emotional expression, daily life. 3. Shopping like a normal person? Catherine can shop like an ordinary person in principle, but the reality is tightly restricted. When she goes shopping, it is usually during quiet hours, at familiar stores that staff already know how to handle her presence discreetly. She does not queue in long lines, wander busy streets, or browse crowded shopping districts. On several occasions, local residents have spotted Catherine buying items for her children or visiting a nearby supermarket, dressed casually and without ceremony. Yet these moments are carefully controlled. Crowded, lively places filled with excitement are effectively off-limits. Catherine cannot linger, compare products slowly, or enjoy the atmosphere the way most people do. Her visits must be brief, low profile, and predictable. Security remains nearby, and staff are often alerted in advance. Because of this, she must leave quickly, before attention grows or strangers recognize her. The experience is discreet to the point of secrecy. What looks like privacy is actually isolation. Familiar faces replace spontaneity, and routine replaces curiosity. Catherine shops quietly, efficiently, and without joy, not because she wishes to, but because safety demands it. Her movements resemble caution rather than freedom, creating a furtive existence that contrasts sharply with the normal pleasure of shopping alone. 4. Walking, jogging outdoors? Catherine can walk or exercise outdoors, but only within strict limits. She is allowed to jog, walk a dog, or stroll through a park, and photos have occasionally shown her doing so near her home. However, the locations are carefully selected in advance. Parks, paths, and neighborhoods must be assessed as low risk and familiar. Security officers monitor from a distance, often unseen, ensuring she is never truly alone or anonymous. These routines repeat in the same safe areas. Catherine cannot suddenly explore a new route, trail, or busy public space. Even outdoor exercise follows predictable patterns designed to minimize attention. While this protects her safety, it also creates emotional confinement. Familiar scenery replaces discovery, and freedom becomes structured repetition. Catherine's outdoor moments look ordinary, yet they are shaped by constant oversight, reminding us that even fresh air is never fully free for someone living under permanent royal security supervision systems. 5. Could she travel alone? Catherine cannot travel privately in a spontaneous sense. Any trip, even one described as personal, must be reported in advance, approved, and secured. Security teams prepare protection plans, emergency routes, medical contingencies, and coordination with local authorities. This process involves long meetings, assessing risks, locations, and crowd exposure. As a result, a private holiday never equals full freedom. Protection officers remain nearby at all times, monitoring discreetly from a distance. The family cannot choose destinations impulsively or change plans casually once travel begins. Privacy exists only within controlled boundaries. What should feel like rest often resembles a tactical exercise rather than relaxation. Even leisure carries operational weight. Every movement is documented, supervised, and reversible only with permission. Catherine's travel reality shows how safety overrides spontaneity. Holidays become managed operations where vigilance replaces escape and personal space is limited by constant security presence at all times, without exception, for her family. Because of these rules, Catherine is judged harshly if she appears to act outside them. Going somewhere without notification is considered irresponsible, as security teams must always know her location and purpose. Even brief, unannounced movements are forbidden. Disappearing from public view is equally sensitive. In 2023, Catherine's prolonged absence before her illness was explained triggered intense speculation, forcing the palace into crisis management. Rumors multiplied precisely because silence and absence break the expected pattern. Living anonymously, even for a single day, is also prohibited. Disguising herself to blend into crowds would be viewed as selfish because it exposes the royal family to uncontrolled risk. Personal desire is secondary to institutional safety. Catherine's life is therefore continuously accounted for, monitored, and justified. Freedom is replaced by responsibility. Every step carries symbolic weight beyond the individual. Faced with this reality, the question becomes unavoidable. Would you truly choose this life yourself?